You are looking live at a daily chart of the Nasdaq. Today is the September 3rd. It's a Tuesday. Out with August and in with September. September is seasonally weak month, and it was down 577 points or 3.26%, closed at 17,136 today. You can see that it had sliced its 50 in dramatic fashion today. Volume a little bit below the 50-day average, but it did close this gap here. If I zoom in a little bit, this gap here, it's a gappy chart because on the way up we had these follow-through days. But 17,260 was the gap there, and it filled it today as a low of 17,057. There's another gap here on this follow-through day. The first one there at 16,895. There you can see the low is 943. So maybe it'll fill that gap. Overall though, I mean, I blame China. There was weakness in China on Monday and Tuesday. Seriously, the demand from China is really poor, and so that the oil was down dramatically. Oil was down near $70 today, and then some of our manufacturing data came in a little light too, really light. So that was a double whammy for, just sellers to come in. This is the Russell. It was in a power trend. Now it's sliced. It's the low of the session is below the 21, which is something we do not like. The MDY, the low of the session below the 21 as well. So that's not a good sign. And then the Dow Jones Industrial Average stayed above. This is the strongest index here, the Dow Jones 30 stocks. And then the SPY, it pulled back to its near its 50, closed right at its 21 there. You can see that 0.1% above the 21. So overall, pretty poor showing today for all indexes, and a lot of stocks got hammered. I'm going to get to NVIDIA because they reported last week, and ever since the report, it's just been selling off. And earnings are about the future growth and not about what's happened in the past. And the market's probably thinking that NVIDIA maybe has had peak earnings here. As you can see, the triple-digit sales and earnings growth, that's going to be slowing. And so NVIDIA is going to be repriced here. I don't know if it's going to come back and test that $90 level. It sure seems like it wants to, down 108 after hours. So just gonna have to take it one day at a time. A lot of the semiconductor technology names were down. This is on semiconductor. It was down. These things are down 9% today. Monolithic power was down 10%. AMD 8%. Qualcomm actually fared a little better. I think it was only down 7%. Sliced its 200 though. That looks weak. And then Intel, which is the Dow Jones Industrial Average component, man, this looks terrible, down 9% as well. I don't know why that thing's still in the Dow. But anyway, Tuesday, September 3rd, not a good day for the indexes, not a good day for the technology stocks. Let's take a look at Micron. This is a cyclical name, down 8%. Maybe it'll challenge that old 84.91 from August 5th. We had nearly a month ago, we had that yen carry trade, that the sell-off that brought us good prices, and it seems like that's where they want to go. But anyway, just take things one day at a time. I could go through a bunch of negative stuff, but I'm not going to. I try to look for strength no matter where it is in the market, and we're finding it in these REITs. REITs, the REIT CPT Camden Property just keeps making new highs, trending higher with the market. I'm not buying these stocks. I'm just acknowledging the strength here. Mid-America Apartment Communities, another REIT, making new highs. This is Realty Income, ticker symbol O, monthly dividend payer, showing strength. These are defensive names. Some of the financial stocks were doing well today. This is VIRT. VIRT, I had this on a ready list last week, I believe, but it's getting a little extended. You can see getting support consistently at the 10 EMA. So it's just riding its 10 EMA to higher prices. VIRT looks pretty darn good. RY, Royal Bank of Canada, making a new high today. What can you say? I mean, new highs are bullish, so I'm showing you the stuff that's making new highs. And Wells Fargo, well, it did make a new high, but it is consolidating within a base here. And flat on a day like today is pretty darn good for any stock in this market. The utilities were up. Utilities were stronger stocks today. This is PG&E making a new high. Duke Energy just showing strength there, bouncing off its moving average. So the utilities are doing well. NEE, I believe I had this one on the ready list. Just pulled back to its 10 today, but flat and a tape like this, we'll take it all day long. WEC, this is the old Wisconsin Energy, now WEC Energy Group, showing strength, making new highs. So you got the REITs, you got financials, you got utilities, and then you have your insurance stocks, and these things are showing strength. HRTG looking good. Hartford making new highs. A lot of these Aflac and Allstate doing well. Same thing, making new highs. That's Allstate. Aflac made a new high, then pulled back a little bit. Still, really strong stock here above the 10. Flat on the session above the 10. That is showing relative strength as well. CB, this is the one that Warren Buffett bought recently. And it was up 1%, showing strength above the 10, 2.7% above the 10. So the insurance stocks are really strong. WRB, another one of these insurance, WR Berkeley, making a new high up 1.4%. ACGL, this is the Arch Capital Group, making a new high. A lot of insurance stocks, just doing really well. Gallagher, when they had on our leading stock list, making new highs. So you got the REITs, you got financials, you got utilities and insurance, all really super defensive. A couple other groups that are doing well today. One was the food group, Hershey's, in this stage one base here, but you got to acknowledge the strength. ConAgra, another food stock, making a new high. Campbell's Soup, making a new high. So these are really defensive. Coca-Cola, obviously, super defensive play. Pepsi, yeah, showing strength here, up nearly 3%. General Mills, another defensive name, just showing strength here. If you were inclined to buy something like this, yeah, that's 72 area, yeah, area of interest for sure for General Mills. I mean, if you're going to play that game, right, going to play defense in September when everything is selling off, you could either hedge with the SQQQ or sell puts on the TQQQ just as a hedge, but I'm not, a lot of people just go to cash and just sit it out. Some of the other names that are doing well, some of the drug stocks, this one had a news today, obviously a move not to be ignored, 36% move on trial data. Sanofi had they had a data for their multiple sclerosis that was not that good, but the stock was up, and then it kind of caused a little kerfluffle in TGTX. I think the shorts in TGTX thought the data from Sanofi would drive this stock higher, and they started covering early in the morning, and this thing shot up above. It made a new high, 2570, and then reality set in, and they just sold it right back off, and it was down, 88 cents on the session? Yeah, nearly 4%. So, yeah. The news from Sanofi on their multiple sclerosis drug was not great, but the stock went up anyway. TGTX, it looked like the shorts got confused on that 5-minute chart. But anyway, other drug stocks. Oh, Eli Lilly held up okay. I like it at 966.10. I mean, Novo came out and said they have shortage in their lower dose weight loss and diabetes drugs. So that continues to be a problem. They're just trying to get their Catalent deal done. Eli Lilly said they don't have shortages anymore, and the FDA confirmed that. But yeah, it's got to be above that 966.10 area, and it was just showing weakness today. You know, the overall market was weak, and it was pretty much flat on the session. So not too bad for Eli Lilly. Anyway, that's it for the drugs, the food, the insurance, the Utes, the REITs, the financials. Oh, I got to get to some of this more carnage here. The HVAC stocks really took a hit today. This is Carrier. This one just pulled back to its 10. It was only down 4%, but some of these other ones really got clobbered. Modine Manufacturing down nearly 11%. Pullback nearly to its 50. Train, TT is a ticker symbol. Pull back to its 21, down 3%, and then fix. Chart was looking good, then it pulled back to its 50, closed below its 50, down nearly 11%. And you can see this stock, how it's, it's trading tight on the way up. Now it's starting to get a little wider and looser, all these big bars here. If you could see them, and that's indecision, right? They don't know what to pay for it. 293 to 319. That's, $30 range. This is another big bar here. 326 to 298, $28 range. And this one is on what day was this? August 5th, of course. And it closed near the high, but still, $32 range. And then today, 352 to 314. It's nearly a $40 range. So does not look good for the heating and ventilation and air conditioning group. I did not check Linux. Oh boy, pull back to the 50 as well. So just a rough day for that group. Then some of the medical stocks, TMDX, pull back, held above the 50 though. CLPT, one that's been on a roll, ClearPoint, pull back. People ask me, how do you buy this thing? Well, it broke out from like 8 and went up to like what, over $13. So it had a huge move. So you got to wait for a pullback to a moving average. Yeah, that looks like a nice high tide flag there on CLPT. And the last one I want to show is Intuitive Surgical, one of our leading stocks, just pulling back to its 10. Not a lot of damage there, 1.87%. But September starting with a bang, folks. Lots of selling, and if you're heavily invested in the market, you probably need to hedge with something, or think like most people, just get out and let the selling. You got to respect the selling, and you can't just ignore it. Either a lot of people just got out as their stocks, slice moving averages like NVIDIA here. When it slices to 50 like that, it's adios muchachos. And I guess I could show some of the other Mag 7 names. Apple's holding up better. It's above its 50, and so is Meta. It's above its 50, but man, some of these other ones are looking pretty rough here. Microsoft looking really ragged here, closed below the 200. Google having trouble with the Department of Justice, and they want to break them up down to the 200. That looks pretty rough. Amazon as well. Takes forever to rally up, and then just sideways. So Amazon looks pretty rough as well. Tesla, they said they're going to make, their what was a Model Y in China, 6-seater in China, still was down today. Cannot prevent the selling. Selling is strong, so you got to respect it. Anyway, at mcstockcharts.com, we never give up. Tomorrow's another day, so keep the faith. I'm not going to sign off now in honor of the great Steve Jobs. I have one more thing, and that is some earnings out tonight. Zscaler down 6%. I don't think this is a really good environment to be reporting earnings, but I'll have more on these in the morning. GitLab, okay, it's up nearly 10%. GTLB, Computer Tech Services Company, so they must have had something positive to say. We'll have to see in the morning. I'll have a little more detailed. Oh boy, Asana, this software name down nearly 13% after hours. That does not look good. HQY, Health Equity, kind of flat, nothing burger. Then OS, this one is Recent IPO of 2.3%. This is computer software financial stock. So I'll have more on that in the morning. And also in the morning, we're going to hear from Dick's Sporting Goods. This chart looks pretty good. Double bottom base pattern here. We'll see what they have to say. Retail sales were really strong last month, and Walmart reported a good quarter, but the market doesn't care about that. They're just selling now and asking questions later. Dollar Tree reports in the morning as well. And then Sienna, a networking stock, is going to report. So we'll have more on that tomorrow morning. Anyway, at mcstockcharts.com, we never give up. Thank you for watching.